here with Kyle Dake just before the NWAC All-Star match. How you doing, Kyle?
Doing well. Doing very well.
Can you tell me what you're doing here?
I'm here with Brute Wrestling. They're actually my shoe company, and they're having me come up, sign some posters for the kids, and kind of just meet and greet, tell people about the product a little bit, and just hanging out.
Okay. All right. How's your health?
My health's doing much better than it was. I'm still a little, not quite 100%. My conditioning is not where it needs to be right now. So working on it though, working on it every single day. I just started, wrestling matches again. I had been wrestling longer goes just so it wasn't quite as intense, and picking up my intensity with my runs, or with, we have the Jacob's ladder, or heavy drills, anything like that. But finally getting that intensity back with some live wrestling, which is really good. I tested it pretty hard, and it stood up, which was really a pleasant surprise. But yeah, I'm doing well. So I got two different signals. Are you at 100%, or are you at 90%? I'm at, if I had to wrestle one match, a dual meet, I'm 100%. Just getting out there for a tournament, I don't know if my recovery is quite where it needs to be. That's the biggest part. You got to be ready to wrestle every single time. And the World Championship isn't a dual meet. It's a tournament, and I have to be ready to win 5 matches, 6 matches in a row. So that's what I'm working for right now, and just every single day I'm trying to get better and better.
Gotcha. Are you working out in the room every day?
Yeah, I'm at Cornell. We have 2 guys who are training with me, Enoch Francois and Nate Carr Jr. They're both aspiring to make the world team this year. And then I also have the Cornell guys. We have about 5 or 6 guys who are very talented around my weight class, from Chris Villalonga up to Gabe Dean. All those guys are really tough, and I just have every single day I can wrestle someone new. Not to mention the fact that I can wrestle with a couple of our assistant coaches. We have Rob, Damian, and Donnie Vincent, who are all great partners who can whether it be a technical side, or just getting out there and grind with me. So I have a ton of partners. Love it up at Cornell, and it's just a great place to be.
Wrestling's a pretty tight fraternity. You guys wrestle people you're friends with. Can you tell me how that's affected you over the last couple years?
Yeah, I think it's brought me a lot closer to some guys. There's a certain commitment that it takes to be wrestling at a high level, and if you've never experienced that, then it's kind of strange. It's like if I were to go talk to somebody about wrestling, it's like off the street, they'd be like, what the heck is this guy talking about? And then each level you just make that jump. So there's a million Pee-wee wrestlers, and then there's only 500,000 middle school wrestlers, and then there's only 250,000 high school wrestlers, and then there's only 10,000 college wrestlers. And then of those college wrestlers who are competing at a high level, and then even after that going up to the Olympic levels, there's not that very many of us, which I hope is changing. I'm hoping that I can inspire some kids to really want to make that next step. Not just the same amount of kids. I want 30 Kyle Dakes out there. I want guys who are better than me, because I want them to represent our country, and I want them to be, bring us to the top. And that comes from just keeping kids in the sport, and really, I don't know, just making them into champions. Don't just push them down, because there's some negative things associated with wrestling, and I think some people get caught up in it. But I think that there's some good leadership now. There's definitely some great athletes out there with just in my weight class alone. Jordan Burroughs and David Taylor and myself are huge advocates for the sport, and I think they do a lot for our community. So just knowing that they're doing that for wrestling, I can appreciate that. I appreciate what David Taylor's done for wrestling. I appreciate what Jordan Burroughs has done for wrestling. I appreciate what Jake Varner's done for wrestling. I can't say that I'm best friends with those guys. We're acquaintances. We're definitely, every time I see them, ask them how they're doing, ask them how their family's doing, ask them, just have a conversation, just like, men. And once it gets on the mat, it's a whole different story. But that doesn't really matter. As long as you're being a good person and everything, I'm cool with it.
Nice. So, with your health getting better, what's your goal for this coming year?
My goal is the same as it's been the past couple of years. I want to win the World Team Trials in June, and after that, in September, I want to win the World Championships.
So when's your
What's good, Kyle?
How you doing?
When do you have plans for your first competition?
My first competition, I'll dual meet in December, as of right now, and then I have a tournament over in Russia, the Yakutsk, Russia. It's the Ivan Yurigin tournament that I'm planning on going to. So that's going to be a really tough test. It's one of the toughest tournaments in the world. After the World Championships, just packed full of Russians, and their system is, as of right now, the greatest system.
Yeah.
Turning out champions. 5 of the 8 weight classes were won by Russian athletes. So I'm really excited to go over there and learn a little bit, and also get some really good competition.
You mentioned the dual meet. Is that?
That's in Madison Square Garden, December 21st. We're not sure who we're going to wrestle yet, but that's my next competition.
Gotcha. Can you tell me when you started wrestling?
I started when I was 4. My dad was a wrestling coach. My grandfather was a wrestling coach. They both wrestled in college. My father was an All-American, and it's been in the family. It's been in the family, and I wanted to do it from a young age. I begged my dad to let me wrestle, and that's what we did.
Nice. Can you tell me what you love about the sport?
I love that it's one-on-one. It's something that you don't really get from other sports. You have to be on your game every single day, and you train to be on your game every single day. You only get 6 minutes of wrestling or 7 minutes of wrestling, and you're practicing 2 or 3 hours a day, and you're just preparing for that moment of greatness, and I think that's what I love about it.
Gotcha. So, can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with Rob Cole?
Rob's a great guy. I've known him for, he's known my dad since before I was born. He's an awesome coach. He knows how to motivate people. He's really good at getting the best out of you. So, if that's, in my opinion, that's what a coach is supposed to do. Make you the best you possibly can be. Not try to transform you into something that you're not. There's certain coaches out there that will try to mold you into a certain person, whether it be just going hard as you can, or just throwing out points, or just trying to score however you can. If I'm a super defensive wrestler, I'm not going to be able to score a ton of points. Or if I score a ton of points, maybe I'm not going to be able to defend in those key situations. So he really molds people and makes them well-rounded wrestlers rather than just super one-sided, which is really really important in my opinion.
Nice. Last question. Any thoughts about the NWCA Classic All-Star match we're about to watch?
I'm really excited for this event. We have Gabe Dean wrestling in it. He's a great kid. He works super hard, and he's super talented. Gets better every single day, and you can see it. I just warmed up with him, and I was just immediately impressed because I haven't wrestled with him, and it's only been like 3 weeks since I haven't wrestled with him, and it's just really impressive on how quickly he picks things up, how much better he's getting every single day, and he's a stud.
Nice. All right, Thanks for taking the time with True Wrestling.
Yep.